The longest reigning Impact World Champion in company history, Josh Alexander, the walking weapon, made his return to the company after injury. After 4 months of being on the injury list, he made his return at Slammiversary by confronting Impact World Champion Alex Shelley. And if that wasn't enough, this past week on Impact on Access TV, he made his intentions clear. He is back to win the championship he never lost. He is back to challenge Alex Shelley for that World's Heavyweight Championship. And Emergence is coming up. Shelley has a title defense at that Impact Plus event. It won't be against Josh Alexander. He'll have to defend against Tanahashi, I believe. I may be mistaken on that. If I am, go ahead and correct me in the comments section. But the real question is, are we getting, or should we get, Alex Shelley versus Josh Alexander for the Impact World Championship at Impact's biggest pay-per-view of the year, Bound for Glory, on October 21st, taking place in Chicago, Illinois? And the easiest answer I've ever had to give in this entire channel for the past 6, 7, 8 months is an absolute yes. These two men killed it. Absolutely stole the show last year at Emergence when Josh Alexander successfully defended his Impact World title against Alex Shelley. So them two having a rematch for the World Championship, only this time Shelley's the champion, Alexander's the challenger on the biggest stage possible, in the main event of the biggest stage possible. All these factors lead to it being it could be match of the year at Impact's at the pay-per-view that Impact bills as their biggest event of the year. So everything going into it makes it a perfect storm, in my opinion. Shelley versus Josh Alexander needs to happen at Bound for Glory. It cannot happen at Emergence. It cannot happen on any other Impact Plus pay-per-view event. It has to happen on the biggest stage possible. And if you ask me and if you push me to predict a winner, it's going to be a tough one because Shelley is just beginning his Impact World Championship reign. He is just starting to be in the main event scene. But to me, the face of the company of Impact Wrestling for the past 3-4 years has been Josh Alexander and should continue to be the walking weapon. They should put most of their stock in the walking weapon. Because wrestling fans, they like variety, of course. They absolutely do. But the thing with variety is it makes the company seem inconsistent. It makes everything seem inconsistent. The reason we're able to talk about a Hulk Hogan, a Stone Cold, or The Rock, a John Cena, or now Roman Reigns is because WWE chooses them to lead them into the future. Impact had that with AJ Styles, and then they let him go. And then there was absolutely nobody to take that ball and run with it. And I believe Josh Alexander could be that guy. Not only this year, but last year he defended against Alex Shelley. The year before, he beat Christian Cage and got screwed by Moose. He is starting to become a constant in Impact's biggest main events, which is another reason why he should be in the main event of Bound for Glory this year. And he should continue to be in the main event of Bound for Glory for years to come, where they establish him, the walking weapon, as the face of the company, as the locker room leader. And Josh Alexander should be pushing for this as well. He has no space in WWE to really excel. And he could have gone to AEW, but if you look at what his partner Ethan Page is doing, his former partner Ethan Page is doing, Ethan Page is on TV every other 2-3 weeks. Barely wrestling, barely in any storylines, and that's most of their bloated roster in that same state. So there is no gain in going to AEW other than maybe a bigger stage, a higher paycheck, but inconsistent work, inconsistent storylines. So why not put one and one together? Impact needs a face. Josh Alexander needs to be consistent in the fact that he is the main event player. He's the world champion. He is the top guy in Impact Wrestling. Keep at it. And I'm not trying to devalue Alex Shelley at all. I'm not saying that Alex Shelley is going to lose the title. at Bound for Glory. I'm not saying that at all. He's done an exceptional job at keeping that championship. He beat Nick Aldis at Slammiversary. He's gonna beat Tanahashi, I believe, at Emergence. He's gonna continue to do so, and he's a fantastic wrestler. He is vintage TNA wrestling. People respect him. People love him. A Motor City Machine Gun, a fan favorite. And either of these men, if these two men main event Bound for Glory, which again, I think that's what the company should be pushing for. I think that's what the company is pushing for. These two men can elevate other people on the undercard that should already be in the main event, that should already be in world title chases. Guys like Brian Myers, he's been proving his mettle. Guys who at one point in the very near future have to be Impact World Champions. Ace Austin, Chris Bay, get them the hell out of the tag team division and put them where they belong, which is in the main event of Impact pay-per-view events. Not to mention that, we also have the return of Eric Young, we have Sami Callihan, we have Rich Swann, I believe, is still there. Impact Wrestling has a tremendous roster. Scott D'Amore, Ed Nordholm, they've done a tremendous job over the past 5 years of rebuilding this company's just stock in actual professional wrestling, and it's just a matter of fans giving it another shot. But overall, if you ask me, the main event for the biggest pay-per-view of the year should be Josh Alexander challenging for the Impact World Championship against Alex Shelley. And if I have to predict the winner at this point, August 10th, Josh Alexander takes the title. Once again, he becomes the face of the company. And I'm not saying that because he didn't technically lose the championship. That's a big pet peeve of mine, a wrestler coming back. Just like I have a few pet peeves. Every single time a wrestler becomes a world champion, oh, it took me 10 years, 15 years, 20 years to get here. It took everybody that to get there. Pretty much everybody. It's a cliche argument. It's a cliche promo. And the same thing here. Oh, I got injured. I was a champion and I got injured. I never lost a championship. That's happened millions of times in the past. Come up with something else to really entice me into getting you back in the title chase. But that's neither here nor there. So with that said, what do you think? Do you think Josh Alexander versus Alex Shelley is a worthy main event of Impact's Bound for Glory this year? Or maybe you might be thinking a different opponent for Shelley or Alexander and the World Championship. Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comment section below. In the meantime, tune in later on tonight to Impact on Access TV. I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.